guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Before anyone says anything, I googled a tutorial on how to wear a military beret because I get confused on which side I'm supposed to put this hard thing, and according to the tutorials it looks like this, but at the same time it makes sense on them, but when I see it on myself it feels like a pancake. So I'm gonna take this off after I do my shtick that I thought about. Once more, I am here because it appears I have to go to war with the multiple female teachers who have recently been in the news for pulling some serious fuckery, also known as rape, assault, sexual abuse. A lot of those apply, most of the time all of them, with young students. And when I say young, I mean under the age of consent. And even if they were above the age of consent, they're still students, so you really shouldn't be having any type of relationship like that with them. Nonetheless, we are here again with another female teacher who overstepped the boundaries, and therefore that is why I'm wearing my military beret. We are going to war with them. Quick note before we get into the video. Recently, I went on a podcast called The Fox Den. I actually spoke with a licensed mental health professional, Jeremy, and we talked a lot about mental health in regards to the things I cover on my channel. So if you're interested in that, I would suggest going to check it out. It'll be linked down below. Clear Creek ISD teacher charged with sexually assaulting two students. A former Clear Creek ISD teacher is charged with sexually assaulting two students ages 13 and 14 while she was their math teacher. Samantha McFerrin, 29, faces 2 felony charges: aggravated sexual assault of a child under 14 and sexual assault of a child ages 14 to 17. Court records show the assaults happened while she was a math teacher at Space Center Intermediate. It's something we take very seriously, said Preston Burns, a prosecutor in the Harris County District Attorney's Child Abuse Division. There are still children we're talking about. They'll be affected by these cases probably for the rest of their lives. According to court records, administrators at Space Center Intermediate received information early last month about inappropriate communication between McFerrin and a male student. That investigation revealed 2 victims. And I know I'm a broken record, apologies, but also, what the fuck is going on? I want to know what the fuck. Generally, just what the fuck. And I really hope that if there's anything positive to come of this, it's that we're gonna start having more serious discussions about male victims. And that's not just minor victims. I'm talking about male victims of abuse who are adults, male victims of abuse who are minors, just generally. Because I feel like a lot of the time when we make an argument, people will be like, males are victims too, but then we don't really talk about it in the same kind of depth or detail as women. I feel like if we talk about it more people will feel encouraged to come forward, or more people will have a way to defend themselves if they ever find themselves with a predator like McFerrin. But it's really astounding to me how much is coming out recently with women. It might be a surge now, but it might just be, unfortunately, just that people are now feeling comfortable calling them out, because we know that plenty of times when female predators are called out, there will always be the person in the comments being like, he should have enjoyed it, I would have liked that. We know full well that that's ignorance. Love ignorance. Also, I'm sorry that it's come to this again, but McFerrin is young and conventionally attractive, so let's just hope the judge doesn't fucking ooh-woo and fuck us all over by letting her have less time just because she's conventionally attractive. So the first victim. The first was from August 2018. Court records say McFerrin was his 8th grade math teacher and that their relationship started via Snapchat. After exchanging nude photos, she and the student had sex in her truck at least 15 times, records say. The victim was 14 years old. Again, I'm gonna fucking nitpick, but do not, for the love of all that is good and pure, do not call this sex. Sex involves consent. I don't know why these articles are consistently worded this way, because it's not sex, it's rape. He can't consent. Period. It's not sex. Let's not minimize this case by saying they had sex 15 times when he was raped 15 times, because he couldn't consent. Okay? Let's keep that very clear. A second victim, a deputy wrote, had nude photos of her on his phone, and when investigators interviewed him, he told them last fall McFerrin pursued him, requesting that he come to her classroom, where she eventually gave him oral sex, court documents say. He was only 13. Court records also say McFerrin befriended a female student and confided in her about one relationship. She allegedly told this student she bought one victim a computer to keep the relationship quiet.
Disgusting!
This teacher, McFerrin, literally sounds like the stereotype of the creepy Candyman van that will try to lure you in with candy. Except the version is that she's a math teacher and she's bribing a student to shut the fuck up with a computer. The fact that the predator is a woman often mandates the use of different words, as we've seen, like saying having sex rather than rape. Unacceptable, but this person is a stereotype of a creepy ass predator. But the reason that people don't see women as predators is because in all our little stereotype tropes of the man driving in the candy van or whatever the hell is, it's always a man approaching typically a young girl in these like warning PSAs. But we really need to start introducing the fact that women aren't immune to being pedophiles. I feel insane having to say this out loud, but anyone can be a pedophile. A woman can be a pedophile. A woman can be a predator. But we need to really start making the discourse about predators open to that. We can't keep using the stereotype of a creepy man's gonna come up to you and say so-and-so, because that's just not the truth. It could very well be a woman, and it's even more dangerous because since we've never really, in schools at least, I've never seen it happen, talk about women as predators, people feel more safe with women and then might be taken advantage of because you have this false sense of security that a woman would never. And that's just not true. Here we have one. And clearly, mentally, first of all, if you're a pedophile, clearly mentally, there are problems. But aside from that, for her to confide in a female student makes me wonder, like, do you think you're in middle school? Like, do you realize that you are an adult in a position of power? And this is not your friend at a sleepover where you're talking about who you have crushes on. Like, this is a student. Like, I'm bewildered, absolutely bewildered and tired. I'm so tired. I swear every time I see a new female predator, I age 10 years because I don't know why we still are not talking about this at a worldwide level. Like, yeah, I'm talking about it here, but obviously that's a limited reach. Talking about it at schools, I wish that happened. Sincerely, if there's schools here that want to hire me to talk about female predators, I will, and I won't say any bad words, I promise, but let's please, I'm going on a rant, just let's move on. Clear Creek ISD informed parents about the allegations in 2 separate messages last month. The district told ABC 13 and urged students to come forward. We believe current and former students of Ms. McFerrin's may have information related to the law enforcement investigation, Superintendent Greg Smith wrote. Based on the information received, I am filing a report with the State Board of Educator Certification. This is the governing board which investigates educator misconduct and determines whether a teacher's certification should be suspended or revoked. McFerrin resigned during an initial interview. She had worked at Space Center Intermediate since 2016, said a district spokeswoman. McFerrin, who is married, turned herself in Tuesday and posted bond totaling $70,000. Chris Tritico, her attorney, said she's wearing an electronic monitor while out of jail. Ms. McFerrin will contest the allegations and looks forward to her day in court, Tritico said. She's contesting the allegations. How? How in the world are you gonna try and act like you're not guilty of this? I'm ready to end it all. I don't know how you try to contest this. I don't even know why it's a question whether her certification should be entirely revoked, which I think it should be, because we have 2 students now. There could be more. We have 2 students who were assaulted by her. It's clear she has some kind of interest in minors because there were 2 of them, if not more. What in the world makes you feel like her certification should not be revoked? If she were to go teach at a college, or actually, she could be one of those teachers in jail, you know, like when they have the classes, that I would be completely down for. Or teaching adults generally if it really has to come to it. I'm not a parent, but if I were a parent, I would not be okay with a teacher having a record of being a fucking pedophile teaching my child. Why would anyone be okay with that? So I think it should be revoked. I'm very curious to see how she's going to try to contest any of this because being the dumbass that she is, which works out well for us, she bought the kid a computer, so what teacher buys a kid a computer with no weird reason? Let's put aside people being benevolent and helping students in need. In this particular situation, it's shady as hell and it'll probably work against her, which I'm glad. And then there's even the girl she confided with. I just don't understand how you're gonna act like you didn't do the thing. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know if anyone knows about schools talking about this. Please let me know because I would be over the moon to hear that high schools, middle schools, elementary elementary schools, whenever people start getting these PSAs of people being fucking creepy, if they're talking about female predators. Because I know in my experience, never were any female predators mentioned. It was always like a man or something like that. So let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons as always, and I'll catch you guys next time.